Hey guys, for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite highlighters and blushes in my collection. So I'm going to start off with highlighters and then I'll get into blushes. So for my favorite highlighter, this is the one I use all the time. And this is one I don't just consider a highlighter, I also consider kind of like a face primer, but it's a really glowy face product. This is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion, and this is in the shade Light Glow 902. This is hands down my favorite face product slash highlighter. It's like the product that I love to apply before putting on foundation. Sometimes I'll just wear this. It's also good to use as a highlighter, and it's probably the product that I would get the most compliments on when people would compliment my face. I was always wearing this one. So for that reason, this has to be my top favorite highlighter. It's so natural. It's so gorgeous and pretty on the skin. It makes your skin look healthy and hydrated and like you have a glow from within, this beautiful radiance to your face, and for that reason it is my favorite. So that's my top favorite. But if I'm going for like a true highlighter, this one is my absolute favorite. This is the Revlon Skin Lights highlighter, and this is in the shade Daybreak Glimmer. This is my older one. It's kind of like broken. I have a one I haven't even used yet. I mean, I've like swatched it, but I haven't really used it because I love this highlighter so much and I thought it was getting discontinued. That's why I got another one of these. But this highlighter is so pretty. It's the perfect shade to put in the inner corner of the eyes. It's perfect to use as highlighter. I love this during the summer, the fall, whatever time of year. This just works. It looks so beautiful on my skin. So for that reason, it is my favorite highlighter in terms of like an actual full-on highlighter. And I absolutely love this shade. It's this beautiful champagne light white gold shade, and I just think it's so perfect, and this was everything I could ever ask for in a highlighter, and for that reason it's my favorite. So I'll swatch it for you guys. This is the shade, looks really pretty, and yeah, that's my favorite. I should say my next favorite, but okay, then my third favorite highlighter. So this is one I reached for almost just as much. This is the Becca Opal highlighter. Now I did stop using this for a while, but I still think it's such a good one. I love this during the fall time. It's that beautiful champagne light gold shade. It's so pretty. I can swatch it next to the other one. I actually think this one's a little bit deeper. It shows up at least a little bit deeper. It's the second one. So I love to reach for this during the fall time. I just think it looks so pretty on the skin. It's such a gorgeous shade, and I love these like golden champagne kind of colors. So for that reason, this one just works, and this is my next favorite. Okay, so another favorite I want to share with you guys. This is just such a staple for me. This is the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter. This wasn't my favorite at first. Oh, by the way, this is in the shade Molten Gold. It was not my favorite at first, but then I just reached for it more and more, and it's just the most beautiful, like beautiful golds, and I love to reach for this during the fall time. Such a beautiful staple shade. This one pulls more golds than just the other ones. I think it's even more gold. It's more warm tone. It's really beautiful. So that's another favorite of mine. And it's one I reach for quite a bit, especially during the fall time and the late summer. So really beautiful shade. I love golds. I love champagne and light golds as well. So had to mention that one. Okay, another favorite highlighter. This is the Jaclyn Sun Lover highlight. This is so beautiful. This is another really like beautiful like yellowy kind of gold shade. It's so stunning. Look at that. Let me swatch it right next to you. So this one's actually a little bit lighter than the other one, the Maybelline one, but it's nonetheless, it's beautiful. It's right here, by the way. But I absolutely love this shade as well. I think it's so pretty on the skin. I like to reach for it during the fall time, the summer. Honestly, I still reach for it now. I love to wear it as an inner corner highlight as well as an actual highlight. But yes, those are like some of my absolute favorites. And then another one I really love, this is the Benefit Cookie Highlighter. I reach for this one a lot too. It's a little bit lighter. It's lighter than the other ones for sure. It leans more on the champagne kind of side. It's like a lot less golds. It's more that beigey cream kind of shade, but it just has that beautiful shimmer. It's got like a slightly gold shift to it, but not like a true gold, more like a light kind of gold. It's, let me see, it's like right here. It's really pale, but really beautiful. So I have to give it to the Benefit Cookie Highlighter. It's such a good one. Okay, another one, these ones are absolutely beautiful highlights, and these ones get me like compliments. So for that reason, I just think that these highlighters are just such staples in my collection. These are the Revolution highlighters by Makeup Revolution. This is the Just My Type Reloaded highlighter. It is so stunning. I'm not gonna like swatch on my arm for you, but look at that shade. It is so pretty. And this just looks so beautiful. It looks it's like that really beaming highlighter look where you can see it on your face, but it will get you compliments, I swear. It is so pretty though. And then the other one I have, this is the Dare to Divulge one. This one leans more on the rose gold side, I would say, whereas the other one's a little bit more yellowy gold. But this one is so stunning, and this one also just gets compliments. So love both of those highlighters, so pretty. And then I have to mention this one because this is another favorite. This is the Bow Bay Beauty highlight, and this is the liquid highlighter. So Bow Bay Beauty, I found at Walmart, like I want to say earlier, either at the end of last year or something like that, or just, yeah, either like fall time of last year or winter, I forgot when. But this is such a stunning liquid highlighter. I never thought I would say I like liquid highlighters so much, but oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. And it just gives the skin like this glass-like look to it. Let me see if I can actually swatch it so you guys can see it. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Okay, it's kind of metallic-y looking on here, but it just gives like, it's super pretty. See that? It has this beautiful reflection, and it just gives your skin the most glass-like look, and it like just beams, like it's a beaming highlight. It's so pretty, it's so striking and beautiful. So I have to say, I have to give it to that one for the striking look. Next, I have the Fenty Beauty highlight. This is the Killawatt Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. Such a beautiful duo. Look how beautiful this is. Now, specifically, if you want a more natural one, they have like the lighter shade right here. It just looks more natural and pretty. And then they have this shade right here. If you want a less natural look, it's so, so stunning. It's on my ring finger, by the way, or not my ring finger, my right hand right here. So such a beautiful one. I think it's so pretty, so stunning, and absolutely love this highlighter. It's a lot lighter than the other ones, but it's still pretty nonetheless, and I love it. So I have some honorable mentions here. I'm just going to quickly wash my hands a little bit just to take off some of the highlights. Okay. So this one is specifically, these are ones I haven't reached for a lot, but I have to say these I just think are so beautiful. These are the Rare Beauty highlights. I have the shade Flaunt, such a stunning shade for fall, like, by the way, so pretty. It's such a like true-ish kind of gold type of shade, and it gives that like, it's like kind of like soft to the touch kind of texture to it, but look how pretty. It's so pretty. So that's Flaunt, and then this one's Exhilarate. This one's more like lighter golds, and this one is so pretty. So yes, it's soft to the touch, and these are just so glowy. I don't use these a lot, but I think that they're some of the prettiest ones in my collection. And this one just looks so pretty on top of like blush. You can mix it in. So I have to give it to those ones for really doing, to Selena for really doing it with these highlighters. And then the last one I have to mention is the Tarte Champagne Glow. This is another beautiful gold, kind of like goldish champagne kind of highlight. Such a stunning shade. I'll apply it. Oh, it's very similar to the Selena one. But this one's more, it's a powder one, so it's a little bit more intense. But it's so, so pretty. And this one I also like to use during the summer. Okay, so those are all of my highlighters. Now I'm going to share with you guys my favorite blushes. So, yes. Okay, so this is my tried and true like favorite blushes of all time from the drugstore. This is the Burt's Bees Bare Peach. So I also love the Toasted Cinnamon, by the way. So this is not the only one. I love the Toasted Cinnamon. It's more of that cinnamony, reddish brown, kind of orangish, bronzy blush shade. So it's perfect. It gives the most sun-kissed look to your skin. And that one's probably my favorite, but I have that one at home, so I can't show it to you guys. But this one is also like one of my favorites. It's a beautiful peach. It's a more natural peach shade, so I feel like it really blends into your skin tone, and it's just overall so, so beautiful. So that's why I'm mentioning this one. But I love both those shades, and they're both some of my most used blushes. Toasted Cinnamon specifically, I will wear with like any warm tone look, especially if I have a really like warm toned eyeshadow type look. I will wear Toasted Cinnamon. I just think it goes with the look. And then if I have like a more summery, like peachy look, then I will reach for this one. Okay, my new favorite. Okay, this is the Sephora blush, and it's in the shade Love Child. This has been becoming like one of my favorites. It started to be my favorite during like the summertime, but honestly, now I have to say it is just so beautiful. This is like the most beautiful like cantaloupe shade. It is on the lighter side, but it is it gives my skin such a beautiful glow. And I find that this one, even though it kind of swatches like on the cheeks, it really brightens up the cheeks. And it gives me, I feel like this is like my perfect color. So whenever like I really want to give my skin that healthy glow, I think this one, Love Child, is so beautiful. If I had Heated too, that one would also be probably one of my favorites, but I don't have that one. But this one is so stunning. It's such a pretty kind of cantaloupe, apricot-y, peachy shade. So beautiful. I love it. Okay. Next, this has been becoming one of my favorite winter shades, so I have to mention it. This is the Kylie blush, and it's in the shade Winter Kissed. So this is like what the packaging looks like. I've been using this one quite a lot, especially in winter time. It's a really pale kind of pink kind of color. I don't even know if you can see it like that good. It almost looks like between a blush and like a powder because it's like on the lighter side, but it's really pretty on the skin and it's more pigmented than I thought it would be. And I've been really liking it and reaching for it during the winter time. So whenever I want to have like that like kind of angelic look, I will wear this, and then I'll wear like a glitter kind of all over the eyes and like a light pink kind of like Angel by MAC or something, like lipstick. And this has been my go-to. It's been my go-to for like Christmas time and different holiday, like some of the more like wintry holidays, I guess you could say, New Year's. That's when I really would reach for this one. So going off my favorite winter type of shades, this one has been a tried and true. It's not just during the winter. This is one like that got me into like pinks, I guess. This is where it started. This is Tarte Dollface. So this is such a bubblegum bright pink, but this is the one where I feel like it works with your skin tone really well, and it kind of warms up on your skin even though it's cooler. So I feel like even if you're a warm tone, you could kind of like pull it off. But it's this shade right here. Hold on, let me see if I can swatch it better. I'm sorry. Okay, let me do it here. Okay, and it really warms up with your skin, even though it's cool. And it has that baby doll pink, but it slightly pulls a little peachy with your skin. So for that reason, I just think this is so beautiful. It's one of the most flattering baby pinks that you could wear, and it's not going to be too much. Like I apply this really heavily, and it's still really like light. So for that reason, it could be good or bad depending on what you're going for. But I really like it. So I think it's a really beautiful shade. It does build up more and it looks really pretty. And it gives you like that kind of like Barbie doll type of look on your cheeks. And it's just so pretty. So I like that one a lot. Okay, so this was the other Sephora blush I've been really liking. This is the Flirt It Up blush. This one I really liked, not as much as the other one, but I really like this one as well. It's really pigmented. This one's a little bit more pink, so it's really pretty. It's right here. But yeah, I really think this is beautiful. It shows up beautifully on the skin. And this was probably my next favorite from the line that I've tried so far. Okay, so I gotta give it to another winter favorite I'm going to mention. Let me see. So this is one I was reaching for quite a bit. It got quite a lot of hype here on YouTube, I would say TikTok. This is the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow blush in the shade 001 Pink. This is that bright bubblegum pink again. Really pretty though, but really bright, kind of cool, violety, white tone pink. But it works really nice on the skin. Is it my most beautiful like match for my skin? Not really. But I love pink anyway, so I'm gonna still wear it. And I've been reaching for it a lot during winter time. It goes with a lot of cool tone looks. I still think it looks really beautiful, even though I don't think it's my best match for my skin tone. I really like it. And it gives like you this like angelic kind of look. If you want to create like a really glowy type of like base, and then or matte, I think it will look really pretty with. And then you wear like glittery eyeshadow. That's where I feel like that like Urban Decay Space Cowboy or something. That's when I think this really shines with that type of look. So pretty though. love that one. Okay, so the next one, okay, this is the one I meant to mention. This is another winter one I've been reaching for a lot during the winter. This is Persona Super Blush in the shade Bubble. This is that true bubblegum pink, like, oh my gosh, it's bright. However, it isn't as pigmented as you think. Let me see if I can swatch the shade a little bit better for you guys. See, it's still buildable, so even though it's that bright, violety pink shade, it's buildable. It gives you like bubblegum kind of color, and it's really pretty. I really like it. I love it for looks during the holidays. Sometimes I'll mix this one with Tarte Doll Face, or I'll mix it with the Winter Kiss. So I've been really liking that blush. Okay, so then I have some other ones for you guys. So this one is one, okay, this is a newer one because I've had this before. I've had like the mini version. I used it all up. This is Tarte Party. This was my tried and true favorite blush for forever. It's just like this like nude pink shade, but it's so beautiful on the skin and it looks so pretty. It's natural, but this one's more pigmented than like the bubblegum pink. So I think this one was more flattering on me, to be honest with you guys, but it is just one of my absolute favorites. This is the shade like by Tarte that I loved. I think a lot of us got it in like, you know, like those sample ones, and that's what I got, and I used it all up. And that's why I got the big one, because of that. But it is just one of my favorite blushes. Like, I just think it works for any look. Whenever I do like a look and I don't want it too, I don't know what type of blush I want to wear, this is just the easiest reach, because it's not really cool toned. It's not too cool tone. It's not really too warm tone. It's just kind of this like neutral kind of mauve shade that works with anything, kind of like dirty rose / mauve, or I'd even say like blush tone pink. Like it's really not too pink, and it's really not too cool toned, and it's not too warm toned. So I think it's just perfect for that. But yeah, I really like the shade. I think it's the perfect, just anytime, anywhere, special occasion kind of blush. Okay, another one I've been loving a lot. So this is one I reach for whenever I want a bright orange shade. This is the Beauty Bakery Snackaroonie blush, and it's in the shade Hey Pumpkin. This is just bright orange. It gives me exactly what I'm looking for. It is just like that true pumpkin-y orange. And it looks a little scary in the pan, but it is really beautiful. It works for a lot of skin tones, which I think is cool. If you're lighter like me, you want to apply less probably, but if you have deep skin tone, it will probably work beautifully on you guys. But I just love this blush. I think it's so pretty for the fall time. It's pretty with warm tone looks. I love it for that. And it's just, if you want that really like orangey, like bright look to you, this is the way to go. It's so pretty on the skin. And actually these blushes, even though if I apply too much, it might look a little bit much on me because of how pale I am. But honestly, it still looks more natural to me than like the baby doll pink. So that's something to take in consideration with these blushes. But yes, so for that reason, I just think this one is such a good one. It's such a staple type of blush. Okay, so the next blush I want to share with you guys that has become one of my favorites. This is going to be the Bare Minerals. This is a beautiful blush for the summer. This is the bronzer in the shade Kiss of Copper. This is such a beautiful summer shade. It's so pretty. It's got like kind of like that sun-kissed effect to your skin. It's like between a blush and, it says a bronzer. I could see between a bronzer, a highlighter, and a blush. It's got everything you could ever need. It's so pretty, so pigmented, such a stunning, beautiful shade. So for that reason, I absolutely love it. And I can't say enough good things about it. It's kind of like reminds me of the Toasted Cinnamon, but this is more like a highlight version of that. Okay, next I have okay, this is the Fenty Beauty Ginger Binge Moscow Mule. So this is technically a highlighter, and for certain people, this would make a beautiful highlight, or you can use it as a blush. I like to use it as a blush for my skin tone. But this was one that Madison Beer raved about, and so eventually I just decided to get it. And I didn't like love it at first. It was definitely one I wore like more as an eyeshadow, but then I realized it was actually really pretty on my skin, and I really, really love it. So this is the shade, or I should say, these are the two shades. Really pretty, makes your skin look really just like luminous, shiny, gives it that really pretty like reddish brown kind of color, but I think it's so pretty and it just looks so beautiful. Gives it slightly that sun-kissed effect as well. Okay, the next one I'm gonna share with you guys, this is probably my favorite Milani. So this was one people raved about for forever. I kept hearing the hype on it, and I was like, I have to get it. So this is Luminoso by Milani. It's just a staple. It's not my like absolute favorite, but I really like it, and I think it looks really pretty. It's just like a highlight blush type of kind of thing going on, but I like the color. I'd say this one is my favorite from at least the baked blush line. This one's probably my favorite one. So that's Luminoso. And then I have a new, another one from them that I've really been liking. Natalie Grace raves about it. This is the Dolce Pink by Milani. I like the Luminoso one a little bit more because I like the more orangey coral shades, but this one's also really beautiful. You can see the two next to each other. This is just a beautiful glowy pinky type of blush, so love those two. Okay, so another favorite of mine, and this is really becoming like a favorite, this is the Shelly blush from Benefit. This is such a beautiful like peachy, slightly corally shade. I love this blush. It looks really pretty. These are the type of shades that I think look the best on my skin tone. So this has really become another one of my favorites. And then another blush I've been really, really loving recently is the Butterfly blush. This is another orangey shade. It's a little bit more orangey. It's a little bit more that fall orangey tone, a little bit darker than the Hey Pumpkin one, which is brighter. This one's more like that fall version. It's so pretty on the skin, and I absolutely love Butterfly. So whenever I want like a warm tone look, or like I want a blush up, we'll go with like that fall tones, of like a fall outfit. This is the one I reach for. Okay, so another favorite, so this is an old favorite, but I have to mention it to you guys, and I have a few more of these. So this is the Wet n Wild's Color Icon blush, and this is in the shade Pearlescent Pink. This is what I thought NARS Orgasm was going to be like, and I think it's such a pretty shade. Like, oh my gosh, this is like, it's on this finger. Hold on, let me see. Okay, this one. But it is such a pretty shade. It's that perfect peach shade. It's not too pink, it's not too corally or orangey. It is so pretty. It's more pink, but it has like a little orange twist to it. So I absolutely love it for that, and I just think it is the most stunning, beautiful shade. And this was what I thought Luminoso was going to be like, and it wasn't, and I actually preferred this over the original Luminoso shade. Luminoso. I should say I prefer it over the NARS Orgasm, the original one. Okay, sorry. Okay, the next one is the Wet n Wild Flash Me. This is the Hello Halo blush lighter, And I really love this shade. I've been wearing like this one, and this is the most beautiful like rosy pink. It's like a little bit that medium tone pink, and I think it looks really quite beautiful. Um, it looks a little less highlight blingy than the Dolce pink, but they kind of remind me of each other in terms of color. So I actually think I like this one a little bit more over the Milani one, but this is just so beautiful. I really like it, and I think this one is another just totally beautiful blush. Okay, so this is my favorite. I had got some NARS blushes, but this ended up being my favorite one. This is Orgasm X. This I think was way better than the Orgasm shade. I mean, the Orgasm one's pretty, but this one's more intense. I think it looks better on my skin tone. And I'm pretty pale, but I like brighter coral shades, so this one just really stood out to me. I think it just gives the skin a beautiful bright pop of color, which sometimes like at least my skin needs. So I love this shade. It's so pretty. This is my type of color, so I have to give it to this one for becoming maybe like one of my favorite blushes, honestly. Okay. So moving on, I'm gonna share with you guys two of the e.l.f. Putty blushes I've been really loving. This is I have other ones and I like them, but they're not a love for me because I haven't reached for them like a ton, like these. This is the Turks and Caicos blush. It's just the bright, beautiful kind of cantaloupe coral shade. I absolutely love this, and it looks really pretty and melts into the skin. It's really light though. I kind of wish it was like a little bit deeper, but I really like it. And I think this looks more natural than the Bora Bora, like the bright pink one. I don't like that one as much. Even though I've been getting more into like bubblegum pinks, that's like a neon pink, so I don't know how I feel about that one yet. But that one my sister loves. Now this one is the shade Maui, and this one's so pretty. I think this is maybe one of the most natural ones, but it's still got more color pigment than the Turks and Caicos. But this is a lot less bright. It's more on the nude side, like mauvey nude, rosy mauve nude. And it's so pretty on the skin. So for that reason, I love this one. Okay, moving on, I'm going to share with you guys like one of my favorite Mario blushes. This is the Dusty Rose shade. This is like that pretty berry mauvey purple, like a red violety purple, like but more purple, mauve, and berry toned, if they could all be mixed. And it gives you kind of that bruise look, but it's so beautiful that I absolutely love it. Like it's such a pretty, like kind of unique shade. Like I love these types of shades in lipsticks, but look how pretty, and it's such a beautiful blush. I love to wear this during the fall time, and I'll wear it with like Revlon Mauvey Nights lipstick, and it's a look. If you wear it with like an eggplant purple top, you know, that'll be just chef's kiss. Okay, so the next one I have to share with you guys, these really impress me. These aren't ones I wear often, but when I do, I really quite like these. These are the Bay Beauty. This is the Beach Blush. It's such a pretty, like, this is like the most natural looking one. Such a pretty like shade, kind of like apricot, pinky or peachy kind of shade. Really beautiful. Then I have the Bay Beauty. This is the, what shade is this? I don't know. But this is the bright pink one. And this one is so pretty. It doesn't even say, it just says blushing blush. Okay. But this is so pretty. It's like another bright pink, but this isn't as cool toned as those bubblegum shades. So this one's just so pretty, and it's that bright corally pink. So I gotta love that one. And then we have the shade, this is the Coral Blush. Such a beautiful, it reminds me of NARS Orgasm X on steroids a little bit. Like it's a little bit more orangey, red, corally kind of shade, but look how stunning and pigmented. I love this one. And this one I wore and I was like, that gives me the perfect flush color. Okay. So the next one I have to share with you guys, these are the Jaclyn cream blushes. This one's in the shade Empress. It's such a pretty pink and it's so pigmented. Like this is crazy pigmented and shows up just as pigmented, like swatched. So for that reason, I think it's beautiful and I love it. And then we got Overruled. This is like pretty if you love those like really like rosy kind of pink, slightly nude shades. So beautiful, especially if pinks like make you too gray to, like if you wear pink and you feel like it washes you out, this would be the type of pink to wear that won't wash you out. Like it just looks so pretty and it's so pigmented. It reminds me of the Merit Beauty one. But yeah, I love this shade. And then last one, this is like my favorite. This is the Swoon and it's like that beautiful cantaloupe. I love this color. It's so pretty. It's like between a cantaloupe and like orange sherbet kind of shade. I love, love, love this shade. Oh my gosh. And this one paired with my favorite Sephora blush in Love Child. Yes, everything. Okay, moving on. So I'm going to share with you guys one of the most impressive blush formulas. This is Juvia's Place. Okay. This one was the one, the volume 5 one was the one I was like so in awe struck of. I don't wear this like that often, to be honest, but it is so pretty. I'm gonna like pull this out for like the summertime because these are like beautiful like melon shades. So bright, so vibrant and neon-y kind of colors. Love that. Then we got the Juvia's Place. This is the volume 4 that everyone was raving about. Such pretty like bright bubblegum and hot pink kind of shades. So this is pretty if you want a Barbie doll moment, and the other like the Dior one was too light for you or something, get these ones. And then the volume 2 one I've also been really impressed by, and this one I've been reaching for more recently. These both are beautiful shades and they look really pretty on the skin. These are a little bit more natural, so if you're like lighter like me, these ones also work really beautifully. Okay, and then another like formula like I've been really impressed by are Rare Beauty. So this is the shade Love. Such a pretty shade. This looks more like terracotta-y, or like, I don't know, it looks like that like orangey brown tone, but it actually shows up more like mauve-y and purplish, which I think is interesting, but it looks really pretty. And then Happy is like that bright pink. It looks a little bit more like hot pink, so I really like this shade. It's really pretty. Then we got Truth. Truth is another really pretty one. I never got the one like I really wanted because that one was always sold out, but I did get a lot of these, so I can't complain. Encourage, another beautiful. This one shows up kind of like purple mauve-y. It's really pretty. Then this one is beautiful, Lucky. I'm wearing Lucky today, and it's like, I didn't apply a ton, to be honest, because I didn't want to overdo it, but it's a really pretty hot magenta pink, so gotta love that. And then Bliss, this is the most natural one, so if you are pale, this one's really pretty. If you don't want anything too much or too bright, get this one, and you can apply a lot of it and won't look overdone. But I love all of her blushes, and they're honestly all so good that like I can't not say that they're some of my favorites, so I had to mention all of them. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you guys have a great day.